show.
But it's also just, honestly, in my humble opinion, so well done. Like, they're all showing up.
Yeah.
And it's on Ginny and Georgia.
And it's literally Ginny and Georgia.
If people could, like, open their hearts to Ginny and Georgia, I think they'd be like, this is television.
Open your hearts to Ginny and Georgia.
Because it's actually, like, so real and raw, but also so entertaining. Hi, it's Megan.
And it's Bree.
And we just want to talk about TV.
Welcome to our podcast,
UNSERIESOUS. Each episode, we're going to cover a TV show, new or old, and have a silly little conversation about it.
So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get unserious. I'm pregnant.
That's wild. It's a crazy way to start about that context.
That's wild. You
Ginny might not have been pregnant, but someone else might be.
Damn.
All that and more.
Oh my god.
All that and more on this new episode of UNSERIESOUS.
All that and more. That's pretty good. Thanks.
Welcome back.
Jesus. And the one part of you. There's so many.
I remember that. This is the promise you get when we're recording here.
Sorry, we're city girls.
We're city girls.
I'm not much of a city girl.
When I was outside with Darby yesterday, there was like 3 fire trucks that went by. I was like, is everyone okay?
Is everyone literally okay? No one's ever
2 or 3 of them. Anyway. Welcome back to UNSERIESOUS.
Yay! We made it.
Episode 97.
Ugh. Jesus. Wait, what episode was the first one? Like episode
7. Maybe. You mean our first Ginny and Georgia one?
Yeah.
Let me look.
It was like a hidden. We had it hidden. We had it stuck.
We had it as an emergency. And it didn't take long.
We were on the floor.
Because it was one of the first, I'd say, 10 to 15. Do I have UNSERIESOUS on here? Hold on. Yeah, so we did season 2 freaking years ago because Netflix doesn't know how to release stuff in a timely fashion.
We did it as our first ever podcast recorded.
Yeah.
But posted it later.
Yes, and I'm finding out when we posted it right now. Episode 8.
Damn, Ma.
Yeah.
Throwback.
We were on the floor. We didn't know what to say. We didn't really know what the vibes were. If we were gonna... I think we recorded it maybe 2 months before we actually started.
Yeah, like we did a bunch of stuff 2 months before we actually like...
Yeah, because we were like, well, we want to start with Succession, Ted Lasso, all the shows that were ending, quote unquote, and like they were all ending at the same time. So we're like, we're just gonna have to record a bunch and then release them slowly, and then eventually we did release. It was like an unaired pilot.
It was an unaired pilot for sure because our asses were on the ground.
We were homeless,
and we didn't know how to talk. Well, I really didn't know how to talk. And there's so many characters.
Yeah, I feel like I was just so crazy because I was season 2. I feel like season 3, I was like, oh, I know these fuckers.
Yeah.
Those are my
season 2, I was like, oh my god, I can't remember all. Now I'm like, I know everybody.
Oh, I know Press.
Oh, I even know Press. Unfortunately, I know Press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're ready. We're locked and loaded this time around.
Locked and loaded. Yeah, but...
Twirling your hair? Cutting your hair?
Is there anything you want to, like, maybe talk about before we get more into it?
Jump in. Me and Me Alone went to the movies. Went just by myself.
The fuck?
Bree and I and Julia, friend of the show,
went
to see Materialists.
Yeah.
In theaters starring Dakota Johnson. I don't know. I started talking about
Dakota Johnson.
Pedro Pascal. Chris Evans. And I had a grand old time. Like, we love the Alamo Drafthouse because they're just playing fun. So they were playing rom-com stuff beforehand. They were playing thirst edits of Dakota and Pedro and Chris. I was like, I love it here.
They get you in the mood.
It was fun. You get to have a nice meal.
And you get a meal.
I had a Caesar wrap that really hit this
Hell yeah.
spot. I will be getting that again, I think. So the vibes are good, and it's like my coworker was asking me what I thought, and I feel like it's a hard movie to talk about without giving away the movie, which I think is like, because I feel like there were things that you wouldn't have guessed from the trailer that would have occurred, which I think is good because you don't want to like have the whole movie given away.
Yeah.
But it was I was trying to explain, like, it's very much, like, the point of it is rom-com, but also, like, it's very much heavy on the, like, fact of, like, how money plays into relationships. Like, that's the central theme of, like, how much you take into consideration a person's wealth and a person's other qualities as you're, in quotes, building, like, the perfect partner in your head. So it was, like, less, I'd say, like, lighthearted in comparison.
Yeah, like, haha.
Yeah, like, it's definitely more rom than com. I would say it's a little even more dram a lot of the time. Again, I don't want to say anything without spoiling it, but I did enjoy it because I do think they were making a lot of good points. And I think everyone did such a good job. Like, I think, without giving away sort of the love triangle vibe of it, she has chemistry with both of them. Yes. I went in there going, I simply can't see how Chris Evans can compare to Pedro Pascal these days. But I was a big Chris Evans girl back in, like, the height of Captain America and Avengers, and this really pulled me back in it.
And it pulled you back in?
I was like, oh, I missed you, Chris Evans. So I feel like Chris Evans hasn't done, like, a whole lot of, like, solid things since those movies, like, Knives Out hit, and then, like, what happened?
And then what happened?
Someone was like, his agent woke up. I
woke up.
Because I watched that movie, I think I talked about it on this with Ana de Armas, and that was like, I was entertained, but it wasn't like it was a good movie. And like, that was more, honestly, like a little bit more romantic comedy than this one. Again, this more drama, maybe. But I still liked it. Like, I feel like Chris, like, his monologues and stuff, ate that up.
Yeah, I really like the pacing of it. Like, I want to watch the Past Lives
Yeah,
movie.
my goal was to have watched it before we went.
I know.
There's just no fucking time.
Yeah, I would like to watch that, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was very visually.
Yeah, visually stunning.
Costumes stunning.
And like the shots of. Yeah, I don't know. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And definitely an interesting. Like a matchmaker. That's such an interesting job.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm like, is there like a high-end matchmaker?
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, is it that high-end?
Yeah.
And is it that, like,
part of me was like,
weird?
This would be
Cult.
better than like a dating app because you're just kind of like going for it. And then having a person that could kind of like curate a little bit more would be nice. But then if I can only be rich and do that, Jesus.
Yeah, you have to be freaking rich.
Mm-hmm. What's also funny is I saw people comparing, like, she said she makes $80,000 a year, but like where she lives and what she wears.
Yeah, that's not a lot. Yeah,
I was like, oh, wait.
Yeah,
so funny.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I will.
Damn.
To maintain that lifestyle with that salary.
Yeah.
And the one thing that got me though was like I said, the whole point of the movie is like money is the theme. Like, this could be a million different movies and focus on a million different critiques of dating. But there's a part, without giving too much away, where Zoe Winter's character calls Dakota Johnson's character to help her. And she's like, maybe I do need a boyfriend, so I don't have to call my matchmaker to help me. And I was like, what if you had friends?
Yeah, what if you had a friend?
Like, that wasn't like the point of the movie about like expanding your lifestyle outside of relationships. It was about like the standards we hold to relationships. But I was like, no, what if the moral of the story is also, like,
you can have other people.
You don't have to fulfill every single box with, like, a significant other. I was like, what if you and Dakota Johnson just became friends?
I know, I wanted them to be friends.
And, like, not that wasn't maybe what could have happened, but also, I was like, and this too. Like, yes, we shouldn't, like, put monetary value on a relationship, but also, what if we also put value on other non-romantic relationships?
Yeah. Just like people, having people in general, in times. Say, well, if I had a boyfriend instead of a matchmaker. Sure,
but also, what if you had anybody else? She's like, I don't have any friends.
And you could call anybody else besides a matchmaker, Dakota Johnson.
That was like my one thing where I was like, okay, and.
Okay, and.
But, yeah.
And Chris Evans owning a car in New York City.
Bro, that's your problem, buddy.
He's dumb as hell.
He's an actor.
That's literally his problem.
He would save so much money.
He'd save so much money.
Fuck-ass car.
Yeah, like you can't park it anywhere.
Yeah, Dakota doesn't even have a car.
Like, you don't need a car, buddy. Let it go.
Let it go. Sell it.
Pissing me off.
He was like, I'll sell it. And she was like, no.
Wait, she liked the car. She did it for the drama. And so they can go upstate.
Yeah, run away with us for the summer. Let's go upstate. Perfect movie from Friday Night. And we could not not say that.
Yeah, it just had
something happened, and we were like, take a break, and then we were like upstate, and then they mentioned upstate. We were like,
yes.
Wow, a film.
They kept. Is that when they mentioned like people are people? Love is love is love.
I instantaneously love is love is
like
love.
Everything's just Hamilton
brand right now. So funny. So funny. Yeah, and a good time.
Yeah, I can't even say my favorite part of the movie because I don't want to spoil it.
Is it Pedro?
Yeah.
Pedro in a kitchen.
That made me laugh so hard.
So good.
That's the calm part of it.
Yeah.
Because what the hell?
I will say the funniest part of the movie was sometimes the jump cuts. They have a lot of good jump cuts, like where she's dancing with Pedro Pascal and it hard jumps to her in the shitty car with Chris Evans. Like, that was funny. And there was like when she was interviewing people and then it cut to Pedro or it cut to her. That was good.
That was good.
I'd say it had a little comedy, but honestly it was more romantic drama. So when people are like, rom-coms are back, I'm like, I don't know. Like, not that this wasn't a good movie, but it's not fully rom-com.
Yeah, I told Madison, like, because she asked how it was, I just told her that it wasn't fully rom. Like, go into it not thinking it's like rom-com.
I would say the last 30 minutes felt like a rom-com.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to tell. I was like, how do I explain this to someone who hasn't seen it,
It gets serious.
Yeah. But then the last,
damn.
30, I'm like, oh, no, this, chemistry is chemistrying, little tropes are troping, and, I was like, oh, I like this. Mm-hmm. Not that I didn't like the rest of it, but it is, a little bit of conceptually different than you might think.
It's
But it was good. For what it is, it was good. But if you're looking for traditional rom-com, it's not,
rom-com.
Yeah.
It's not
and there's not enough. When we're rom-coms are back, it's we get one every so often. We had this, and a couple years ago they had Anyone But You. It's there's no consistency to it anymore. Or they're all on Netflix or Hulu, and those aren't to the same standard.
Yeah.
That's why I'm devastated people we made on vacation won't be in theaters. I will be sad and I will be
and it's never coming out.
And it's never coming out.
And it's actually not coming out.
The soundtrack got leaked.
That's good.
Did you see that?
Got leaked. Yeah, I saw I didn't look at it fully.
There's some Taylor Swift.
But I said
there's some L is for the
way you look at me. Classic.
That's why I'm oh, if this was in theaters, we'd be so back.
We'd be so back.
I don't even know where all hers live. I know Happy Place is a show. But the rest of them, I don't know if all of them are attached to Netflix or anything yet. I'm can something be in theaters?
Can any of them be in theaters?
Can they do what Knives Out did? And it's okay, we'll release it in theaters for a week and then it'll be Netflix exclusive. I want to have fun at the theater.
I just want to have fun.
We have so much theater to go to, though.
I know. I'd be at the theater, guys.
I love the movie.
I love the movie.
I gotta be
an
endless AMC Stubbs list, or I gotta get the Alamo thing. I gotta get something so I can be at the theater. But that's basically what I did this week.
Me too.
And spoiler
alert.
That's
all I did.
We watched Adults, but you'll have to hear about that next week.
Yeah, next week. And happy summer.
It's summer! Yay! The summer solstice.
Take a break. It's summer. We made it to summer.
Yeah, we did. And just in time for a heat wave.
Just in time for the great heat wave. The great heat wave of 2025.
Why is there so many crazy things Chicago where we have this heat wave and then we had the dust storm,
the dust bowl,
tornadoes.
We're getting everything.
Yeah, love it here.
All right, should I tell you what Ginny and George was about?
Season 3.
Oh no. Okay, this isn't that good.
That's okay. I'm sure
I wrote it last minute.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Ready? Mm-hmm. Ginny and Georgia is a comedy drama series on Netflix. Season 3 revolves around Georgia's murder trial after being accused of killing Cynthia's husband, Tom, and is eventually also accused, she is completely innocent, of course, of being a serial killer. Woo! On top of Georgia's husband, Mayor Paul leaving her ass, and her 2 kids, Ginny and Austin, being ripped away from her, Georgia's entire personal life is being broadcast for the world to see, which is a complete nightmare for someone who is running away from their trauma. At the same time, 16-year-old Ginny is forced to step into more of an adult role and make some huge decisions to keep her mom from going to prison and keep her little brother safe, while also dealing with many of her own issues. I didn't touch on most of it.
There's so much to unpack.
Yeah.
I just need to start on say I love this show so much. To many, this is a guilty pleasure. This is just a plain pleasure.
No, I love it too.
I feel like it scratches the itch of like a One Tree Hill because so much crazy, kind of outlandish shit happens, but it's also like sort of grounded at the same time. And there's many, many differences to point out about that. But I don't know. Like, it's just, they're both sort of like the best show of all time.
They're kind of both the best show of all time.
Like, it's just like fun. Like, we always say that there's like different purposes for different shows. Like, Severance and Succession and Hacks kind of live on its own. And then like shows like One Tree Hill, Ginny and Georgia, Outer Banks. And some of those are better than the others. But like, Ginny and Georgia is like, I think, of what we've got right now.
Yeah, I think
pretty upper of that category.
Of the like teenish dramas.
Yeah.
It's pretty high. It's like at the top of my list right now.
Honestly.
Did you get like the first season was very unserious,
but I think they really grew.
But they really the last 2 seasons have been like so good.
And I feel like they do a good job of still playing into sort of the cliche cringiness and like little lines here and there. But they're, like, in on it in a way, the most recent seasons. And, like, when it comes time to handle, like, some of, like, the mental health stuff or legal stuff, they actually, like, walk the fuck in.
Yeah.
And I don't want to stand here and say, like, it's completely perfect, because a lot of the experiences I haven't had, so I can't, like, explicitly say that. But I do, like, from what I've heard about, like, the actors and the creators, they all really care about doing it as well as they can. So I feel like that makes me feel good. And it all seems, like, well done. Even when, like, shitty stuff is happening, I'm like, the acting and, like, just, like, everyone's putting their fucking heart into it.
Their heart and soul.
And I'm, like,
crying.
Gagged. And I'm like, this will never win an Emmy, but also, what if it did?
We're putting it up for consideration.
I'm like, Severance in the Pit, move out of the way.
We need to focus on something else.
Everyone is fighting about the Pit and Severance, and I'm like, what if?
What
if we said forget it?
Yeah. He said, hey guys.
So funny.
None of those matter.
But I have a great time. And I was sobbing.
Yeah.
A lot this year.
Yeah.
Which, like, is partially just on my mental state. Also... They were pulling on my little heartstrings.
Acting down.
Everyone was giving the performance of their lives. And it's good. And also, just an overall thought is, like, there are so many characters on the show, which we kind of said. Like, there's a lot of kids at the high school and all that stuff. And a lot of them get a pretty decent, like, storyline. And a lot of shows can't say that.
Yeah.
Especially when there's only 10 episodes. I feel like a lot of them, they all don't get, like, the same amount of screen time as Ginny and Georgia, obviously. But they're all touching on, like, various different issues, and they all interact in different ways. And, like, I have to kind of applaud that. And it's because I think they make the most, like, they are full hour-long episodes, which honestly, like, especially for a shorter episode show, they make the most of that. And I'm like, let's freaking go.
Let's fucking go. Yeah, they do. Yeah, I feel like they're, like, so developed, and they, like, are good at still sticking with the things that did happen in season 1. Like, they haven't just, like, made shit up, like, or, like, added things. Like, it's just, like, more developed of even the smaller characters.
I agree.
And they're all mentally ill.
I literally was like, they live in Wellsbury, more like on Wellsbury.
No, literally.
Because, like, everyone is going through
everyone it has shit.
And, like, you know what, me too. That's why I'm like, hell yeah.
I'm like, damn.
And I think they've always done, at least these past 2 seasons, done such a solid job with Ginny and her mental health and her self-harming and the way that they make sure she goes to therapy. Once Georgia and Zion find out, they're so, like, protective of her and looking out for her. And
Georgia finding her in this episode, like, going up and stuff, that was so...
Yeah.
The acting in that one, whoa.
And, like, I think from that, like, George's character development of, this is what always frustrated me. People would hate Ginny so much, and it's like, I love Georgia, too. But, like, if that was your mom and she was putting you through these things, wouldn't you go a little crazy and be kind of a spoiled brat at the time?
Georgia's the perfect human.
Yeah.
She hasn't done anything wrong.
I fully agree.
No, just kidding.
But, like, people then are like, okay, Georgia is okay with all these things, but God forbid Ginny be a normal teenager on top of the shit that no normal teenager goes through.
Yeah.
And, like, she acts out and stuff like that. Like, I think we should give her a little grace. God forbid a woman have complicated feelings. But that's what I've appreciated with seeing, like, Georgia try to take strides to make sure she isn't. Like, she even was struggling, like, are my kids better off without me? Like, she was starting to finally, like, clock that stuff of, like, I have made their lives harder and put them into these positions. And it influenced them to now make some pretty interesting
now they're acting like Georgia.
So, it's a very interesting dynamic. But, like, in general, even Georgia was like, I think I'll go to therapy. And, like, called the therapist. Yeah. And, like, that was a very, like, emotionally driven moment. And, like, admitting that she needed help and was really, really struggling after in previous seasons kind of denying that that was even, like, a valid thing to do. And then, like, the way she treated Ginny in that moment where she found her, and, like, it was when that video got released of the basically, like, slam poetry piece about her, like, shitting on her mom, essentially. And in a previous season, you would have seen, like, Georgia really take that personally, and I think make that very much about herself. And in a part, it was about herself, but she, like, knew what that must have felt like for Ginny, and went to her and was, like, making it, like lighthearted and being like, it was good, Peach.
It was good.
And, like, I think it's amazing.
How'd it go?
And, like, so sweet and so emotional. And I was already crying during that. And then that bleeds into the part where they both get taken away.
Oh, that was awful, but that was art.
Yeah.
And drama.
I was struggling with, like, okay, what are my least favorite moments? But somehow they're also kind of my favorite because they were just so
No, good. Literally, I'm like, this was, like, awful to watch, but it was just so good.
Yeah, like,
and, like, the reveal of Zion being there too, like, it's Gil, like, of course, and then Zion's like, and she's just fucking so betrayed,
and everyone's watching her, like, the whole neighborhood, the news, like at her lowest point. And that is, like, everything that she has done has been for those kids. Like, she has not gone about it the right way.
And now she's losing the kids.
But, like, that was, like, her one thing, and they took them away. And it's, like, so funny watching this across the board of, like, everything they're accusing her of, everything that the dads are doing, everything that maybe her Ginny's friends have been a little apprehensive about is also valid, because in a real situation, if this woman existed in your town, you would do this too. But we know Georgia, and we know that she actually doesn't deserve it.
We know she doesn't deserve any of this.
No, it's so complex and so interesting, and I'm, like, sobbing as she's sobbing. That's why I'm like, give Bri and Howie a fucking Emmy. I'll say it. Don't lock me up. I'll say it. I think they're both so talented, but I feel like Brienne just had, like, so much to showcase this season.
She's so good.
Wow.
Love it. They take her freaking kids away.
Yeah. Devastating.
But it is funny that she's in court. She's fully in court, and I'm like, oh, she's not even guilty. Like, she's fully, like, she did it. But I'm like, no, she's not.
And we're like, free her.
Like,
she has to make it out of this.
Yeah, like, she can't be in prison.
Something that she said in press was, like, when they were building this character, they wanted her to be, like, a Walter White-esque, Tony Soprano-esque.
Exactly.
And it's obviously on a different, like, sort of level. But, like, I ride for that because you, like, I feel like this is said a lot. Like, you have so many different ranges of male characters in TV shows.
Being crazy. And it's so fun to watch. That's why it frustrates me when people come after Ginny and Georgia. Because, like, Georgia is obviously that semi-anti-hero character, but Ginny is sort of just a teenage girl, and people are like, Ginny hasn't killed anybody.
Yet.
But
that's my thing. Like, she won't even do that many bad things, and then the way that people shit on her is crazy. And then you have, like, these Walter Whites, Tony Sopranos, Joe Goldbergs of the world that people are like, we love him.
Joe Goldberg.
Like, you can, like, enjoy a complex male character, but God forbid people also enjoy the complex female characters.
Yeah, Ginny hasn't done anything that bad. She's just being, like, and I feel like the high school kids, like, kind of annoy me, but I feel like it's very realistic
for sure
of how they're acting. So
for sure, like,
I can't even fully blame them.
No, I that's why, like, I feel like Nora was really pissing me off this season But it's like, okay, if your friend's mom may have killed someone that your family's
like, put yourself into it.
Like, 100%. Yeah. But, like, watching it from the lens of, like, oh, I'm very much Team Ginny and Georgia. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm Team Ginny and Georgia.
She was a little frustrated, but it is kind of like she's wishy-washy a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, with the way that she was, totally was on Max's side last season and then was, like, very weird with Max. Everyone was weird with Max.
Yeah, their friend group is...
Yeah.
Messy.
I think it's, like, very realistic, but obviously they're taking it to a very heightened way. The way that Abby was speaking to her at the very end, I'm like, Abby can be very blunt and frustrating, but, like, I was like, whoa.
No, that was making me mad.
Like, why all of a sudden, like, Max, especially, like, Max has had great character development because she did have reasons for people to be pissed at her in earlier seasons. Like, the way she really, like, kind of took her being mad at Ginny too far. And she can be a pretty, like...
She's drama.
Like, yeah, she can be a little bit, like, dramatic and, like, center herself. But I feel like she really learned from that in the past 2 seasons. Yeah. And then when she's finally just trying to be there for other people, then...
Like, that's all she was doing. And then they were, like, roasting her ass. And they were pretending, like, that, like, being nonchalant is just the only way you can be, like, you just gotta be so fucking nonchalant. Like, you can't care about anything. And, like, I'm like, girls.
No, and I get they all have their different, like, communication styles. But it's like, you can't expect Max to react the way you want her to without explaining why you struggle with that. Yeah. Like, Abby being apprehensive to tell her about her feelings for Triss and that maybe, like... Yeah. Exploring her sexuality and knowing... Sure, Max making a big deal of that would be overwhelming for anyone, like, maybe. But she didn't even give Max a chance, or Max a chance to react and then her explain. She just, like, fully didn't tell her just to avoid the whole thing. Yeah. And, like,
she's not sharing her feelings.
They're all fucking up. Like, it's not like any of these people can't come back for this. But I love Max so much.
And then when Max is literally like, can you tell me what I did wrong? And they're like, you're too much.
It's like, oh my God. Girl. She literally came
She literally asked, and she was being so quiet, and she came in but nothing with, like, just love and respect.
They were all rude to her, and she was like, okay, I'm going to be the bigger person and come into this calmly and openly. And all just, like, ripped at her.
And they just fucking, like, roasted her ass. They're like, you're dramatic.
Ugh, like, I really...
Okay.
See myself in Max because I'm a person who feels a lot and can be dramatic and can be emotional, and sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, and, like, there are parts of that where you do have to, like, kind of regulate your own shit. Yeah. But, like, being dismissed completely is so fucking frustrating. Yeah. And, like, as if Max is openly, like, physically choosing to feel the way she feels. Like, that's what always gets me. It's like, you think I would overreact if my brain I could choose
always been like that.
Yeah.
And she has OCD.
Yes. Like, my girl. So that's, I feel like it was, I got really emotional watching her stuff this year because it hit so close to home.
So sad. And
it's just like, God, like, just...
And, like, they didn't, like, you could grow apart in high school. That's totally normal. Yeah. But the way they were acting were, like... Also, like, it was just weird because the first part of the season, it seemed, like, pretty normal. Like, for the most part. I mean, Ginny wasn't going to her for some things. But, like, when they were together, it seemed normal. And then it was, like, this switch of just going, you're dramatic! Or, like...
No, for sure.
And maybe that came with Abby's new relationship. Yeah. And, like, yeah, but... I don't know.
I struggle with that because...
Jesus.
Like, it's totally normal to have also, like, different friends that'll get you in different ways. Like, I think that was a big thing of, like, Ginny to not have an entirely white friend group.
Yeah,
you know? Like, that's, like, important for her. And, like, Bracia is such a great character. And normal for, like... when things come up and you just happen to be with who you're with, like when they all happen to be without Max, none of it was like, okay, let's all meet up purposely without Max. It was just like, a lot of it was circumstantial. Or like when Ginny would tell someone something and like Max wouldn't be there, like most of it was not that personal.
That's very real too. Like,
yeah.
But like, it wasn't like, which that I understood, but then the direct attacks on like her personality.
Because I feel like they all could have come back from, and they were, the fact that they could acknowledge they knew Max would be upset and still not handle
that's
that
another thing that was gonna be. Abby saying like, oh, don't be like Max.
Yeah.
Like,
or like,
damn.
Just the fact that they were like, oh, Max will be so mad we did this.
Like, okay, you know how she's gonna feel and you're still acting this way.
Exactly. So it's like, then you know you're part of the problem. Like, yes, maybe in some situations she does overreact to things, but like, they're still not, like, if that's your friend and someone you've cared about at some point, like, make a fucking effort to, like, be apologetic about that.
And it's, like, not anything new with her personality. Like, her being more dramatic and outspoken and That's literally Max.
Yeah. I think that is something to say about just, like, in high school, you're kind of, like, in your own fucking head.
Yeah.
So, like, Abby is probably only concerned about her relationship problems, her own, like, body problems.
And we know she has a lot of
Yes. Ginny obviously has had a lot fucking going on this year. And then, like... But, like, no one could hold fucking space.
No one held
what
space.
Max was going through.
No one held any space.
And, like, maybe it was hard for her to talk about because a lot of it was Marcus heavy, too.
Yeah.
And that's its whole thing. But, like... it's hard balancing your own shit with your friendship, but, like, no one could even have a split second. When Max was feeling so overwhelmed this season, she was like, I can be there for anyone. I will be there for anyone if they just let me be there for them.
Yeah.
My girl.
Another real thing about Max is just, like, hiding her emotions. Like, people do think she's, like, happy. Like, she's very emotional, but also she just, like, acts happy all the time. Like, her, like, to her parents. And it's just like, damn.
And there's something to be said about, like,
her whole character
your feelings are only valid if they hit, like, a certain level. Like, her parents care about Marcus because
like, you have to be at a certain level.
Like, extreme, like, way. She might be handling things better, but her feelings are still valid. Like, there's, like, a complicated balance in, like, any real life shit where it's, like, just because there's crazier shit going on in the world or crazier shit going on with the people
doesn't make your shit less important.
Exactly. Like, there's time and place for everything. But also, like, someone look at her.
But especially when it's, like, your own, like, it's her twin, and then it's her parents, like.
Yeah.
And then being, like, ignored by her parents when she was little.
Yeah.
When she wanted to put on a show.
Yeah.
I love Max so much.
Real. That, like, hit close to
No, literally.
I like, that was something as a kid. I was like, just because I'm a kid doesn't mean you
can just ignore me.
Yeah, I'm glad that she had a tantrum over that.
She's so real and wrong.
Yeah. She's never overreacted. Like, I'm fully on her side.
No, literally, I literally love her so much.
I love her so much. Can we have Sarah Weissglass on the pod?
Yes!
I think I'd cry.
I love how much she loves Max, too.
Yeah. That's just overall, the people on the show, like, despite it being what it is, like, they all care so much, and it, like, they're all proud to be a part of it, and I love that. I feel like sometimes people that do these shows don't have that vibe, and they all seem to get along. Like, I love being able to see them do press and not have shady shit. I'm literally referencing one show and one show only. I love that. I wish it did get more attention the way, even though I'm pretty sure in Netflix numbers, this is one of their highest rated shows in terms of the way people watch.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, why does it take them so fucking long to
get it out? Yeah.
It is not, like, I get that there was a strike and there were some things, but it took 2 years between 1 and 2 as well. And, like, yes, the bit is that Austin is aging, but it shouldn't even be because of that. They should just be doing it faster. Like, honestly, I do feel like they tell a good story in 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the show fully would need to be longer, but it's the fact that it takes so long to get those 10 episodes that's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, if this came out yearly, we wouldn't have the age problem, and, like, I feel like it would just, like, Netflix, your shit would probably do better if people weren't, like, forgetting about it.
People literally forget about it.
Yeah. Netflix just relies too much on the casual viewer and the people that just love to, like, throw on a show or binge a show in a weekend. And I'm like, no, we're real TV bitches.
We're real TV bitches.
And, like, I want things
and this is gonna get an Emmy.
And we're gonna campaign for your consideration. Realizing it technically isn't even eligible for this year's Emmys because it came out in June.
You know what? I'll still get it there.
I'll be there.
Also, Mark.
We'll be, like, outside the Emmys.
Jenny in Georgia.
I love that.
Yeah.
Max's storyline was so good. And then I will say, I think Marcus's storyline is so good.
Yeah.
And I just, like, love him as, like, especially, like, because his primary, especially at the beginning, his primary role, it was to be Ginny's love interest.
Mm-hmm.
He exists so much more outside of that. But I think just on that simple level, like, they are such a good couple. Like, obviously they need to work on their own shit first. But, like, on a very base level, I'm obsessed with them because, like, once he gets help,
once he gets
and
help,
she keeps up with therapy and this new normal with her family. But, like, on, like, a pretty basic level, like, he is such a good guy. Like, there's so many, like, fucking idiots on TV, especially in high school. Press for one. But, like in the comparison of, like, the One Tree Hill is Dawson's Creek of the world.
Dawson.
Like, Lucas Scott, Dawson Leary, any of these fuckers could never be Marcus.
Never be Marcus.
Like, he's such a solid guy.
Marcus.
One of my highlights of the season was his scenes with Georgia.
Yeah, I like their relationship.
Him fixing her window, her looking out for him. Like, Lorelai Gilmore could never.
Yeah.
Like, one of my favorite relationships on TV is Rory and Jess's relationship, and that's its own. We'd have to have a whole episode on them.
Yeah.
But it always frustrated me that Lorelai hated Jess so much when I feel like they would get along so well if she could just take herself back a step.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, that's what's happening with Georgia and Marcus. She recognizes the issues that she's had and that people in her family's had, and she's like, even if he's not with my daughter, he's a good kid, and it matters that, like, he gets help.
Yeah.
And I love that and respect that. And she does see him as a good person for her daughter. Like, she went into his window
yeah.
with her ankle monitor and everything to make
there.
sure that Ginny wouldn't be alone at her appointment.
Yeah.
And trusted out of anyone, Marcus to do that. Mm-hmm. Despite what he had going on, he knew that she would do that. And that relationship, this whole situation, so special to me.
So special. It really touches me.
Love it.
It really touches me.
It does. It really touches me right here. In my heart.
It's really touching.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, that was good.
But
yeah,
my man gotta go to rehab and therapy.
Oh, when the I hate me scene, that was so good.
Also, to me, Emmy worthy.
But also, yeah, I hate me.
So so devastating and so good.
And Max.
Yes, and like that's her other half, and
yeah,
he definitely does things that are fucked up, and like obviously it ties back to the addiction and the depression he's going to. Doesn't make that an excuse, but I also think it also makes.
But
it
like
realistic.
when he's like drinking all the time and he's like,
yeah,
he's gonna be like mad and like
yeah,
like when he's like yelling at Max.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and honestly, like making things, I think he's also part of the reason like things are complicated with her and Ginny, because she's trying to be loyal to both of them.
Yeah.
Which kind of puts her in the middle. Like, she can't tell Ginny things because
best friend and twin.
Yeah.
And twin flame.
Literal twin flame. Their flashback when they're like, I love you. And then that's what's devastating is when
I love you.
She does what she can.
Switch.
She does what she can to get him help, even if that fractures their relationship. The thing is, I like have confidence that like when he makes it on the other side, he'll be thankful
he'll be
for
fine,
that.
Yeah.
But like her going into the garage after he's gone and just being alone with his stuff.
Aww, I'm so.
And
she's
like,
I did
repeat a
this.
grade. And that was like the parents' like stuff was interesting too, because they were definitely making questionable choices.
Yeah, and I like that because I feel like that's very realistic. Like not wanting him to get behind or not thinking he has that big of a problem.
Yeah.
Like,
because there's no rule book for that.
Yeah,
and they're trying
and
to
you
help him.
don't want to imagine your kid getting to that point.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, and Max is like, bro, I think he needs rehab.
Sometimes I feel like that whole storyline, like their family is so layered. Another
I
just,
love
like side
them.
thing is I love the simplicity of the way sign language is used with them. Like anytime they're with their dad, even if they're not even speaking directly to the dad, they're using sign language.
Yeah.
Like I think that's such a good touch, and the show does such a good job of not making it like the whole point. It's just simply another character that exists in this world, because as if like as people exist in real life. Like love that. Loved like the dad trying to like apologize and stuff. Like he is such a little sweetie, but again, both him and Ellen are struggling.
Have made mistakes.
Yeah, and then like their reaction to that monologue too was so emotional.
Yeah,
and like when Ginny came over and then he peed himself, my poor guy.
Oh, that was
his love.
That was
embarrassing. But it's also Ginny's mature enough to know in that situation.
Yeah.
Like that's not like an ick. Like my man needs help.
An ick. Your man
and
just
he's
needs
like,
help.
Please read me the poem about me. Please read me the poem. And she's like, I can't right now. And like her Ellen coming in and being like, Ginny, sweetie,
Ginny, it's time to go.
and just being very respectful. Like that's Ginny's fucking family. Like when they were playing Uno, I was like, that's a family.
Uno.
And I think they're all going to make it out to the other side of this, but in the moment that they're all in now,
it's just a fucking mess. It's a shit show.
But it's also just, honestly, in my humble opinion, so well done. Like, they're all showing up.
Yeah.
And it's on Ginny and Georgia.
And it's literally Ginny and Georgia.
If people could, like, open their hearts to Ginny and Georgia, I think they'd be like, this is television.
Open your hearts to Ginny and Georgia.
Because it's actually, like, so real and raw, but also so entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And still makes you laugh.
Yes, it's also so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. What else is there to say about our little high schoolers before we...
Our little high schoolers.
I'm not sure, like...
Abby. I'm glad that she is she's getting away from press.
Yeah, side note, I don't even want to talk about
press.
her. Fuck Samantha. Like,
fuck Samantha.
They had me in episode 1 go, maybe there's going to be character development for her. And maybe that's on the horizon, but not this season.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just kiss a girl and then get with her
and then get with her
boyfriend.
Awful ass ex.
Like, she needs help. I recognize that, but for now, it's fuck Samantha and Bruce.
It's fuck those two.
But yeah, I'm glad she pulled herself out of that.
And she met Triss. And people think that's forced, but I don't think so.
No, it happened very naturally.
It happened so naturally, and Triss was part of the friend group, Marcus's friend group. Marcus's friend group sucks.
Fuck Silver.
No, literally fuck Silver. Because
terrible.
She doesn't give a shit. Literally didn't give a shit. She was like nonchalant, and she was like, but she like didn't give anything, and she was. She just smiled or like said nothing or went, it's whatever.
Yeah,
like
honestly,
literally giving nothing to my Max.
That's what honestly, and I'm glad the show is kind of making this point, is that being apathetic and like carefree, that's not cool. Caring is cool. Caring
is so cool.
Caring is cool.
Caring is cool.
Giving a shit
is cool.
There's not a problem with that, and I like that. Like the show is kind of having that, because she also clearly, like, as much as she's maybe Marcus is one of his best friends, she doesn't give a shit about him either, because you wouldn't be buying alcohol for someone that clearly needs help.
Yeah,
and if you're paying attention to him.
If you are spending, you should know.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are these people friends?
They're not. Marcus is just not present.
I think he's just not there. He's just with the skaters.
And he wasn't physically present for like a while too, because he got suspended. Which go off for destroying that man's classroom. Destroy your girlfriend's shitty teacher's classroom. Yeah. But that really fucked him up too in the academic sense.
That fucked him up.
Yeah. I enjoyed Abby's storyline though. I've always really liked her. She did frustrate me at the end. She really lost me. She really was
pissing me off. But I do like her.
I enjoy her storyline with her parents.
Yeah.
I thought it was like really interesting, the dinner she had with the dad and this new mom. And her mom, I actually like her mom.
I love her mom.
And that's what I'm saying. You have these characters that pop in and out, but are somehow fully developed.
Yeah.
Like the mom,
I said yes.
She pops in and out, and I'm obsessed when she's like, "We're not telling your dad. If your dad asks, you are grounded," or what. I was like, an icon.
An icon.
Love her, and I love that they're both
the
like,
growth.
we need to
they
do
had
better.
Growth together.
Yeah, obsessed.
I'm like, they even give you that little moment, like
yes.
Oh,
like the show. So
they
so
feel
many
like
facets.
Such real characters.
Yeah,
because they have those little moments.
That's why I feel so attached. That's why I think I feel attached to Abby, because you can tell like she's only the way that she is because of the product of all of these things. Doesn't mean she should treat Max like shit.
But I'm like, oh, that ending with Max.
Yeah.
Or like the last, I feel like it got like really bad. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
But I'll forgive her maybe.
Yeah. I think if they can all
like her.
have a heart to heart and like get all their shit together, I think they'll be okay.
I also like Abby and Marcus. Like, I like their little scenes.
I got nervous.
The dynamic. You thought they were going to kiss.
They didn't. And I was like, I knew I could trust the Ginny Georgia writers. And I really like her relationship with Ginny, because I feel like I don't agree with the way it was handled, but like the way Max treated Ginny last season, it's been 2 years since it came out, so I can't fully like speak to this with accuracy. That was frustrating because they basically formed teams and they excluded Abby too. So I think that's why I've always had like a special place in my heart for Abby and Ginny's relationship, because they kind of stuck together.
They stuck together and they dyed their hair.
Yes, and then like I have one of their like, she texts her in class. Want to die alone together.
Yeah.
They have like a very sweet relationship. And again, like everyone's allowed to have different relationship with different people, and those can ebb and flow. But you don't have to treat Max.
I think Max is screwed.
I want to see Max, like, I want especially Max and Ginny to like reconcile, because they are very, like, I love their dynamic.
I know, and I'm like, they're...
But like, I would love to see like Max find external, like, from that group. Like,
yeah.
Cause like Ginny has, like, she has that group, but she also has Bracia, and she also has her poetry people.
Good people from... She's getting...
Yes.
Well, her ex... What's her name?
Sophie. Right?
Sophie.
I can get her...
I got a little... She get a little more respect this season.
Yeah.
But I'm still not fully on board of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, she needs...
Yeah.
Her doing the music... Max doing the musical, and then Silver kiss... Or... Sophie kissing Max in front of
That was her drama.
I'm breaking up. You can't kiss me.
That was really good.
During the show.
Sarah is so good.
She's so
her
good.
delivery and her execution of literally comedy and drama is so good.
And her whole like montage in her room alone, that was so good. Apparently it took like 7 hours for her to film that because they had to keep doing it. And you have to hit like the point at the right time.
I'm thinking if I think about her for too long, I'll start crying.
No, it's so true.
Max and Sarah, like I
love them. I wish Sarah was right here.
I know.
But that's.
Oh, we have to, before we fully move on to Georgia's stuff. Wolf.
Can I say? I love Wolf.
We'll have to come back to what I'm about to say, because Brie and I did this thing for episodes 2 through 10 where we tried to guess who said what, and how lit it was when we knew that he said "that's wild."
That's
to
wild.
The pregnancy, because like they had teased it in the end of the last episode. We're like, what if "that's wild" is what Wolf says when Jaden tells him that she's pregnant, and then it happened.
Did like that's a win.
And honestly, what would you do?
No, literally, what would you do with John? And then he went, like, okay. Yes. Okay, hold on, yes.
Yeah.
That was a dumb response. Yeah. But we got one, Wolf is a 16-year-old guy who's silly.
Yeah.
And, like, he's probably like, what the hell? And they have sex once in the laundry room. And he's like, that's wild. Because that is wild. That's kind of wild.
That's not what you want to hear.
That's not what you want to hear. But he went, oh, I'm sorry. And then he laughed.
I will say, I was so on board with Ginny doing this poetry class, with her escaping the drama, her having a silly little fling with someone who wasn't Marcus.
Yeah.
I had to respect it because I knew that wasn't going to last. I know Marcus's endgame in my hardest of hearts.
In my hardest of hearts.
But I really enjoyed it, and he was like a solid character. Like, he was silly without being annoying. Like, I think if a lot of people played his role, you would be pissed as hell. I was like charmed.
No, I was like, I'm gonna be annoyed at this guy.
Yeah.
And then he was like, he was goofy and he was like nice. And when Braisha and Jenny go to the party and he like dances with both of them, he's like, I'm like,
good guy.
This is my man.
Like, he's not like but he's a good guy, and he offered
and
entertainment.
I want the best for it.
Yes, and he fucked up in that situation, and then
handled it, recognized his mistake,
and like Jenny rightfully broke up that relationship, totally fine. But then he was like, we're friends, and he said,
we're friends.
When he showed up in the poetry reading, we were like up. We were like,
I stood on the couch.
We were like, is that Wolf? Wolf defenders.
I'm a Wolf defender.
Like, I enjoyed him, and I hope we see it. Like, it's funny the way that we barely see Hunter anymore. And Hunter
had one line
in his 3 scenes. I was like, good friend, and I like him with Padma.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, kind of miss him being a little more present. We got more Wolf than him, but if we could keep Wolf in some capacity next season,
I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I love. God bless.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Love that. I love that arc. I love them at the museum. I loved the scorpion humor.
That was cute.
It was cute. Like, fully recognizing, like, that's not Ginny and Marcus, but, like, for what it was, I was like, she needed that.
Yeah.
And then when they were kissing in the street, hold on. What if you were suspended from school and you were skateboarding and you tripped, and then the love of your life was kissing someone else and her mom was wanted for murder and you have depression? That's Marcus's Baker's life.
Did you see that he actually tripped? He said he actually tripped.
Felix, I love Felix.
And then he had to like get out of the shot without making noise, so he had to walk off, and he was like carrying the board, and he just like, you could see like just.
I have to rewatch. I love him, and also when he said "live, laugh, Lexapro."
Laugh, Lexapro. A king.
There's something to say, generally speaking, about all of the teen storylines, is they handle it with such Gen Z humor.
Yeah.
Like, when, and not to say that this may have been the perfect thing to do, but when they confronted Abby about, like, her eating disorder, basically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That was fun. Like, they were just trauma dumping.
Yeah, and, like, there's a million ways you could have thought about that, but honestly, I feel like that was realistic, and they were being genuine. Like, they weren't brushing it off. They were handling it with the humor that helped them in that situation, and still being like,
like, the only way you can probably say it.
Yeah, and I kind of respected that.
Yeah, I respected it.
I was like, I feel like they do. I mean, some people might disagree with
they're gonna be, Max is gonna be mad that.
And I was like, guys. And, like, again, that was a situation that wasn't constructed
Yeah.
to purposely leave her out, but I was like, oh. And then it did.
And then it did. That was good.
All right. They're messy as hell, but I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them. And I enjoyed Moose. What a performance.
Yes, I love, they go full out with the musicals.
And I will say, also, not to keep throwing shade at Gilmore Girls, but when they did a 10-minute musical in the middle of their revival that meant nothing.
And it wasn't giving.
And especially this season. I think they did about 5 to 10 minutes of this whole musical, but it all ingratiated the plot. Like, it all furthered the plot.
Words made sense for, like, what was happening.
Genius!
It was so good.
Get this fucking show an Emmy!
Like, I was entertained throughout the whole thing.
It was quick, like, the pacing, it just, like, fit, like, it made sense.
Like, sure, I'll watch this high school musical.
And, like, and even Ginny's 1 second of her remembering what happened with Gil.
That's drama.
Like,
That's so funny.
I was like, this is artistry.
This is art.
Love it. Okay, we got a free Georgia Miller.
We got a free Georgia Miller.
Serving fits in the courtroom. Someone was like, the only thing she didn't serve was her sentence.
The only thing, so true.
Oh my god.
Oh, she was serving.
She was, like I said, just so good. So, the acting this season, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't even know where to start. There's so much to say. Mr. Mayor.
Ugh.
I could have started this season. I probably said this last season. That this show does a really good job of giving this main woman 3 love interests that are all attractive, funny, sweet, entertaining. And you kind of have a reason to root for all of them. Mm-hmm. And then this season they said, not anymore.
They said, nah, take that shit away. Take that shit right away from me because I'm pissed.
Yeah, and it's still complex because it's, again, one of those things where if you were in his shoes, what would you do if your wife had killed her last 2 husbands?
I'd be like, thank you.
But it's my girl, Georgia.
But it's Georgia.
And you don't speak on her like that.
You don't even speak to her like that.
And there were things where it's like, okay, you can understand why he did some things, but, like, the way that he...
Oh, there was some weird shit
their romance
at the beginning.
Where he was mad at her, but he was like, I'm still going to hook up with her, and then I'm going to pull myself away, rightfully so. But then Terry Schuster walked so Georgia Miller could run with the fake pregnancy storyline.
Yes, slay.
Wait, really quick, I guess I didn't emphasize, no, we'll get back to it. The Ginny storyline with that, I guess, overlaps with Georgia. Anyway, she fake baby trapped my man Paul. And very validly, he was like, okay, that's a little messy, but then he snapped right back into it. Mm-hmm. Just for him to then realize that it was fake. Because Zion told him his real true love.
His true love grabbed a beer and spilt the tea.
They send me to the moon.
I'm like, just kiss.
I think that might be the ending. And then their scene where he fully confronts her and he's angry and he hits the wall, and that is very clearly traumatizing. No, for sure. That was Zion's was getting rid of taking the kids away. That was his fully crossing the line moment, and then that was Paul's.
Hitting the wall right next to her.
Yeah, knowing very well that she's been through shit.
Yeah, I said, okay, Paul.
But that was another moment where I was like, this is so gut wrenching and devastating and scary. But they were both.
They're acting down.
Like, it was so well done at the same time. Like, as someone who really enjoys, what's his name, Scott Porter, because I love Heart of Dixie as well. Love my little small town dramas. I was like, it was crazy watching him do that.
I know, I said.
But he did a good job.
He did a good job.
And it was scary.
It was scary. It was literally like Will Schuster.
Yeah.
He did around the same thing.
You're right.
Like hitting shit.
Walked so Ginny and Georgia could run.
I said, damn.
Yeah. And like his emotions were so valid.
Like, that's valid.
The way it came out is crazy.
Is like, yeah, especially in her situation.
Yes.
Like, knowing all the shit she's been through.
Yeah.
And like, ugh.
Devastating.
Like I feel like hitting a wall right next to a woman is just as bad as hitting a woman.
No, yeah.
Like, it's like not.
Especially a woman who has experienced
being
that.
Angry, like.
That's traumatizing.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah. I think I didn't read the article because we hadn't watched the show fully yet, so I didn't look into it, but I think he was hesitant. Scott Porter was hesitant.
Yeah.
That, respect.
But I saw this post. He's like, this scene was really hard.
Yeah. What a guy.
I said, really okay. Like I said, fuck Paul. Paul was pissing me off.
Yeah. And
I don't know. I feel like he wasn't even Joe.
All they wanted was Suitor remains. And we've been new. People are like, that's fan service. Or they did that all of a sudden. I know. We've been here. have you been watching with your eyes closed?
Have you been literally asleep?
Why the fuck would they parallel them as kids? If that wasn't the end game
Why
from
would
the
they
start?
do the whole thing? Milkshake. Why would Milkshake be at her wedding?
Like, are we fucking kidding? It's like, I can get mad at people for being Team Jeremiah or whatever, or being other teams on other stuff, but like, acting on this show, like Joe wasn't set up to a degree from the fucking start is fucking delusional.
Delulu.
And he's always been the better guy. Like, he's cared about her this whole time, and he realized that she kept the glasses. Holy shit, man.
Holy shit.
And like, he's like one of the people that she can't, in season 2 was like, I can't go there with because I need to protect my family.
Yeah.
But now, who's the only one that's standing by her fucking side, who's coming over to play Mario Kart, who's making her dinner?
Yes, Princess Peach.
Oh my
Joe.
God, Joe.
And she literally spills all the tea.
And he verbatim says he does not care.
He does not even give a single shit.
He punched Gil
like a real man. He didn't punch the wall next to George's head. He punched Gil.
I fucking love Joe.
He found out that Gil was abusing Georgia. Boom. Immediately. Boom. That's a man.
I'll get you a fucking...
And
he looks so good doing it.
And he's kind.
And he's kind. And he's so baby
And he's
girl.
and he's baby girl. And he's...
I love that scene.
He's just...
And he has a good relationship with Ginny.
Yeah.
Like, Paul cared about them. Like, and I don't think in those moments, like, that was, like, problematic or anything. Like, he genuinely cared about Austin. I was sad for Austin.
Yeah, I liked Paul and Austin's relationship.
For sure. But, like, I think him and Ginny just have
But I think
Joe and
Ginny and Joe...
have such a good dynamic.
That's her other dad.
Yes.
Even though Zion's her dad, too. I do still, like, even though Zion pissed me off in that moment.
Yeah, because once again, what did you do?
Because, like, yeah, if you were in that...
Yeah.
In your child... Well, he was a little wrong for... I guess he didn't know about Gil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because Austin was stuck with Gil. Mm-hmm. Which... Gil's insane because he grabbed Ginny.
That was wild.
But, like, Georgia being like, he won't hurt Austin. He loves...
Yeah.
Like, that's so,
I
like...
think she was just trying to convince herself.
Yeah.
Because she was in prison in that moment.
And then they were fully gonna move him away.
Yeah.
That's so scary.
Like you were saying, I do really still like Zion.
Yeah.
And I like that
I respect
they're going to do
him.
the split custody thing because that's only fair. And I really like him with Simone.
Yeah, I love Simone.
And he's pulling two bad bitches.
She was a
and she's like, unfortunately, I like Georgia. And I
worked
like,
that courtroom.
Yeah, she did.
Oh.
Which led to the craziest reveal of all time.
That's so
I genuinely did not know where that was going.
I did not know what he was going to say.
Gil, my dad.
My dad.
And then Ginny threatening Cynthia.
And, like, looking at her, like...
No, she was slaying face. She was serving so much face.
She was being Georgia.
So good. People are like, she's this close to killing someone.
She's literally going to kill someone soon.
And I hope it's press.
And I hope the first one's press.
I literally, like, I'm very scared about what this is going to do for Austin in the future because he's carrying that weight. He's
going off. They already showed little moments of, like, he yelled at Jenny.
Yeah.
It's not going to go, I don't think it's going to go well.
Because basically, because she was exonerated that, they can't try her again. And they basically dismissed all the stuff about prior stuff. Which is the serial killer thing, the murderess, them making a Lifetime show and then making Ginny White hilarious.
They made me white.
She's now, like, basically free because they have no hardened proof on the other stuff.
Yeah.
And then they found her not guilty of this crime. Mm-hmm. So she's basically free.
Unless she kills somebody else.
Unless she kills someone else, but I feel like she won't unless something crazy happens and it's self-defense. Like, I don't think she's going to intentionally do that again. Mm-hmm. But Austin, that's the loose cannon.
But he's going to snap.
Yeah.
He has to hold so much. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, and then he's going through, like... He's going through, like, he's going to be going through puberty. He already has. But he's going to be going through, like, that. It's really messy over there. And then Paul left, and he thinks Paul abandoned him.
Yeah, now he's not going
to
And
he doesn't have his dad. And him hugging the jersey at the end, like, Gil sucks, but he, like, really, like, you can tell he wants a relationship.
Yeah, he
deserves,
like, to have, like, a positive... and consistent male role model in his life.
Which I'm so happy it'll be Joe.
Fuck, it'll be Joe. Like, that's the man you need to role model yourself after.
I'm so happy it's gonna be Joe at the... I can't even imagine Joe as a dad, though.
Oh, okay, so do we think it's his baby, though?
I don't know.
Her chugging that milk
if it's balls,
gave me
I'll kill
goosebumps.
myself.
I don't know. Because I just think it'll be frustrating for her to have 3 kids with 3 separate baby daddies and then end up with a 4th. Just like again, over my dead body, she's not ending up with Joe. You know what I mean? Like, that's endgame.
She has to end up with Joe, and that baby better be Joe's.
Yeah, and like, me googling how long you can do a paternity test. I'm like, how long are we have to wait? We're gonna wait for this baby to be born and see what it looks like. When the baby's white as hell, we're like, fuck.
That baby's white, boring, stale.
It
better be Joe.
Oh my god! But he was so when he visited her in jail. And they kissed. That was so good. Because she punched Gil.
She's about to leave. She has that leather jacket. She's about to take Marcus's bike.
Oh my god, the man keeps getting his bike stolen.
Take that.
He's like, my bike is at the police station for no reason at all, but we do have to go get it. Obsessed. It's just, they're so powerful. That's what gets me. People that I personally haven't seen it, but if there is anyone out there that it is not on the Joe and Georgia train, it's crazy. Because, like, she makes such a big deal about wanting to be safe and wanting to feel like she could take a fucking breath. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you are the only person that makes me feel that safe. It's like,
I'm like, okay, what the hell does that mean?
Literally, that's endgame. Like, I don't know what else to fucking say. I love them. That's my biggest takeaway. They crushed it this season.
They crushed it.
What else can I feel like I need to run through my notes just to do Ginny walking away from Georgia when the ankle monitor went off in episode 2, and she really missed out on doing the salute.
Oh yeah,
but she did do it to Marcus later, so I appreciated that that callback. I liked when they were Marcus and Ginny danced together. The gaslighting scene where Georgia does not understand what gaslighting means. That was funny. Devastating scene, Marcus telling Ginny that he doesn't love her, but just so she'll go. Yeah. And then immediately telling Max, like, I love that girl so much, but I physically cannot even be with myself. Oh, that's powerful.
That's powerful stuff.
Soundtrack, I said Way Down We Go Needle Drop, but I'm sure there were more songs that were, like, really good throughout the season. I'm pretty sure when they were listening to a podcast talking about Murderess, it was Hannah Burner and Paige DeSorbo. I was like, I know those voices.
I know those voices.
And it's the two of them together. I think it was them. I said not Ginny being scorpion pregnant. I can't say my daughter was impregnated by a wolf. I'll detonate.
Yeah, by a wolf.
I'll kill him. I'll detonate. I liked the bit at the end where they all showed up for her poem. That was very sweet. And Georgia and Zion brought her flowers. And then they were like, that's Wolf. I'll kill him. And Zion was like, what'd you say? He's like, that's the man that impregnated our daughter. He's like, I'll kill him too.
I'll kill him too.
I said, that's a co-parenting team. I think we talked about that. Oh, the girl in prison that said to Georgia, sometimes men just need to die.
Iconic.
So funny. Loving evil Ginny. And then, I think that was it. And then, really quick, a recap of our guesses.
Okay, yeah.
We only started doing it during episode 2, so. Beep, freaking beep. Georgia. Check.
Boom.
Friends can dance. We were like, that's Ginny or Marcus, and I think they both said it.
Yeah. Friends can dance.
Check. The bitch is back. We thought it would be Georgia about herself, but it was Nick.
Fucking Nick. I wouldn't even guess that.
That's Snake.
That's a snake.
Yeah.
That's a full-ass snake.
So we got that one wrong. Boom goes to Dynamite. Georgia. Correct.
Georgia.
It can't get any worse. We guessed it was one of the Bakers, but it was Georgia again.
Damn.
That's Wild, as previously mentioned.
Yes.
Nailed that on the head. Situation and everything. I feel like the more this went on, the more specific we got. Is that a packed lunch? They were this fucking close. I knew it would be a Georgia Paul situation, but Nick, once again, was the one that said it.
Damn.
But it was in the situation which we would have thought. It's time for my solo. Max, drink Moose. Crushed it. And then monsters was very vague, but Georgia said the word monsters multiple times, and we got that right.
So boom.
So we were 6 out of 9.
That's pretty good.
That is solid.
That's pretty good. That was a fun game.
I know. I love when shows do that, or like have some sort of theme for their episode titles. But it is fun to be like, okay, where in the episode is this going to come up?
Yeah.
That's Wild was
pretty good. Mm-hmm. That's Wild. Freaking Wolf.
Woof! Honestly, favorite character.
Honestly, not number one favorite character.
Trying to think if there's anything else. Like I said, I just really do enjoy the show for all its ups and downs. I feel like their performances are so good. The stories are actually so good. And they're like, you're watching this woman on a murder trial for murder. She 100% committed, but you're like, there's no way in hell she's going to jail.
I'm like, she can't go to... She has to be with her kid.
And that's what I mean. It's giving, like, dog eats a heart, one trail ass shit. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
But also still has so many real grounded storylines and everyone's acting down. And the relationships are good. Ginny and Marcus and Joe and Georgia are such great relationships to watch. I feel like something I thought about in the first season was, this is the critique of any show these days because shows are shorter and take forever, is like there's no slow burns anymore. But I would argue that Ginny and Marcus kind of toy the line because other things
that
are
Marcus
keeping them
needs
together.
needs to go to rehab.
Yeah. And then I would say, through the first 3 seasons, Joe and Georgia were a solid slow burn.
They're very slow.
So, the show kind of has
And they aren't even officially, like...
Yeah, they're still not together.
And we don't even know whose kid this is.
Oh my god!
Paul's definitely gonna weasel his ass back in. I'm gonna beat his ass.
What do you think she's gonna name the baby? Wells?
Little Joe.
Because people are like, you can't name a baby Wellsbury, but, like, Wells is the name.
That's cute.
But I also kind of want Joe to be a girl dad. You could name a girl Wells.
Yeah.
You name her Barry.
Rachel Berry. I want Joe to be
much to come.
But she has to name the baby a state.
A state?
Or a city-state.
Yeah. So
Virginia.
Austin.
So it has to be...
I think it's gonna
So it could be Wellsbury.
Yeah, I think it'll be... Wells would be cute.
Wells would be good. Ugh, if it's a man...
It's Paul's son.
That's the worst possible thing that it could be. A boy and Paul's.
We're like, no, Joe, girl, dad, nation.
We need Joe, girl, dad.
I think next season we would have we have to.
That's like liberal conservative.
Next season we need to get pink and blue.
We do a gender reveal.
That's also who's the dad. Open the cake, it's Joe.
Oh my god, we cut it. It's just Joe.
I can't wait. This show better come out next fall. Like, I'm not waiting another 2 goddamn years.
Oh my god.
This show, I need them to get better.
They need to do better.
And if, like, maybe, I don't know if season 4 will be the end, what their end game is, but, like, I'm gonna need them to get a full ending, whatever that takes, and it better not take fucking more than 2-3 more years.
Yeah.
Because I love it, but I also, like, it deserves to be more consistent. And that's what I have to say.
I agree.
Yeah.
I need it right next month, actually.
Oh my god. That's the devastating thing in Netflix releasing. People were complaining about The Summer I Turned Pretty releasing weekly and taking forever. I'm like, you're blessed.
I'm like, you're actually blessed.
Like, I was kind of talking about this with my coworkers. In some cases, like, I would have loved to have ripped that Band-Aid off for that specific show. But generally speaking, I'm a weekly release
Bitch.
supremacist.
Yeah.
So, see you guys in September for that one.
Dun.
Highs and lows really fast.
Yeah. Epic highs and lows. Favorite character?
This season, I'd say my 3 are Joe, Max, and Georgia, but I did have to say honorable mention Marcus, Ginny.
So true.
But I will say Joe, Max, and Georgia.
Okay.
That's about you.
I said Ginny, Georgia, and Max.
Yeah. Amen.
Least fave.
Gil. Fuck him.
That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. Favorite moments.
Just any Joe and Georgia moment. I love their first kiss and all of that stuff. Oh, yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I think Ginny's abortion storyline was so good. Mm-hmm. Like, Georgia's reaction, the way she handled it, the way that Ginny handled it.
Georgia's reaction going from, like, you could tell she was, like, a little mad, but then she's like, hold on.
Because, again, very realistic reaction from a mom.
And she was in that situation, too. Yeah, so she's like...
Yeah. Loved. Mm-hmm. Marcus fixing Georgia's window and then them bonding. That was, like, one of my favorite parts. I kind of already said that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those are the ones I wrote down. I'm sure there were others. Honestly, Wolf
was a highlight.
Yeah.
Did I write Wolf? I don't know, but he was the highlight.
Just us getting hyped. When he came in, it's just so funny how hyped we were when he came in the last episode.
Wait, I did. I said Wolf, LOL.
Good. Amen.
But, Jenny FaceTiming Georgia at the dance. Yeah. Because they were like, oh, I'm not. She wasn't gonna be in any like the moment. She couldn't go. And she's like, she doesn't even need me. And then they were FaceTiming at the
like, I love you. Their development as mother and daughter too.
It's so good. And then I liked Zion's mom and Georgia. Like, yes, I liked them making up and like they were beefing.
And they hugged.
And then they hugged.
I could cry.
I said,
so good.
It's so good.
She needs that because her family ain't giving her that. Which
yeah.
I'm scared for next season.
I know. What are they gonna do?
Stay away from her.
I'm like, stay away from her. What the hell? Jenny punching Press.
Oh, huge.
Joe punching Gil.
Huge.
I said
Marcus shoving the guy in the locker. Family.
Oh, yes.
Family.
The kids being taken away. LOL. Just
as for your favorite.
I'm like LOL. Just the drama in Zion's face like that. Like I didn't like it, but it was a good scene.
That's what I said. Honestly,
it was drama.
A lot of my least favorite scenes were such like I think taking the kids away and Paul and George's fight are on my least favorite list, but they were both like
they were good, but they were actually really good
in terms of like
I was entertained.
Yeah.
George's core outfits. Mm-hmm. I just said like literally all the dynamics. Like there's just so many. Everybody has such good.
Yeah, the show kind of crushes it.
Wow, give it a
please.
Abby and Tris were cute. Austin saying his dad killed Tom, and then Georgia and Joe.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Slay. Least fave.
The kids getting taken away from Georgia.
So true.
Anything where it had to do with Max being upset, people being rude to Max. Like, awful. That's actually the top of my list.
I just said all caps, my first one. My poor Maxine.
Yeah, dead ass. Pissing me off. The Paul and Georgia fight, and then Gil hurting Ginny.
Oh, yeah, that was awful. I put, this would probably go under my fave moment. Well, I didn't. Marcus, like the I hate me scene.
Yeah, that's also devastating to watch.
Devastating to watch, but really good.
They put everything into that, yeah.
Max and Marcus fighting my twins.
My twins.
I didn't really write much.
I've just did the edit, the Noah Khan edit of them.
I have an edit or is it of them? Yeah. Oh, what was it too?
Georgia the Bolter edit? Lock-in.
It's the lock-in. Yes. I don't know what else. Just... Yeah, I would agree on the Gil grabbing, like, the fuck. Just Gil in general. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, anything with Max just made me so sad the entire time. Like, I feel like there wasn't even that many, like, good moments with Max.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah. I love her. I just, like, her being, like, a good sister was, like, probably, like, her strongest thing this season. Also, just honorable mention, we didn't really talk about her, but Cynthia, I enjoy watching her. She's kind of like a foil for Georgia, but like I enjoy her. And
she, like literally, it's funny because like she actually did like
she killed her husband,
but it's like Cynthia's evil over there. No. But like no,
it's
but Ginny like blackmailing her
when she says to Joe, she's like she's just like her mother. That whole family's crazy.
That's
and he's like that's my family. And like when Zion and George. His name on Hard Dixie. George. When Zion and Paul are kind of like talking shit and Joe's just kind of like listening. He's like, I should be listening to this. Because that's the love of his life. Oh, and he was like, and she pretended to, or like we had sex or something. And he's like, when did you guys?
Whose baby is it? Joe's always just hearing the shit because the only place people go in that town is Blue Farm.
Yeah. When Georgia sent the construction worker to the vote.
Yes, I can't. Oh, that's enough. Paul, he apologized for it, but he said
no backbone.
He said Burger King.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck him.
Right. It's Team Joe and Team Georgia for life.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's gonna get recalled.
Thank God.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most unserious the show can be. I said 5.
Okay.
I put it right in the middle.
Okay.
It like perfectly is both.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Maybe, if anything, 5.5.
Okay, I'm aligned. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, why the hell not?
I'm like, about to go home and see if I can convince my sister to do it.
You probably...
She won't.
She won't. She definitely won't.
The problem is, it's like, I feel like season 1 is like a tricky thing to get people on board, but it's like, if you can
You should get Karen to watch it.
Maybe.
I'm surprised my mom liked it so much.
She's like, I'm looking up spoilers, so I don't have to keep watching.
I know. I'm like, is she gonna watch it?
I love that.
She needs to watch it.
But yeah, clearly this is the best show ever, as we've said before, and we will say again. It hits so many boxes, I think. It's just, like, such a good... Like, it is, like, technically what I would consider a guilty pleasure show. Like, it's just, like, you can really sink your teeth in, get in the world. There's plenty of characters and storylines to be invested in, and it's kind of crazy, but it's also so sweet and heartwarming and sad and devastating. It has it everything.
Devastating.
And I have fun.
Devastation. Yeah.
Yeah. But now there's only one thing left to do.
Game time with Megan and 3.
And obviously, for our mother and father, canon father, please, we have to play Mario Kart.
I'm always Princess Peach.
All right, guys.
We're playing some Mario Kart.
All right, I'm Toad.
I'm Roy.
And we are going to play just a quick little lap at Moo Moo Meadows.
Moo Moo Meadows, of course.
All right. Get ready.
I'm gonna win. I'm so good at this game.
I feel like I always have to remind myself of the controls.
Yeah, I don't even know, man.
Oh, the lights are kind of pretty.
Wait, Moo Moo Meadows is stunning.
Stunning in Mario Kart 8.
Stunning.
Someone send us a new Switch so we get the new one.
Yes.
But for free.
Send us a new Switch. Where the fuck did you go?
I'm on my way.
Fuck you.
Oh, shoot.
Oh.
The real enemy is fucking Waluigi.
Waluigi.
Where the heck am I? Oh. The camera just like
it's just... Ah! Oh, some bitch just hit me.
Oh. It wasn't me. Oh, Waluigi hates to see me coming.
Oh no. Why am I in 4th?
No, I got hit.
I got a bitch.
I got a bitch.
I snapped the bitch right up.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfy in first.
Fuck you. I'm coming for your ass.
What the? Did we do this for Montreal?
Yes.
I was like, I know we've done this before.
Yeah.
Did we also do Moo Moo Meadows?
I don't know, probably. I love Moo Moo Meadows.
Yeah. It's good for the soul.
I'll be at the Moo Moo Meadows.
Yeah, it feels like home.
I love the videos of the little cow with the nose ring
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah, but you can play as him in the new one.
Yeah,
Like, we need that.
we need it. I need it.
Being in first is lame. I can't do shit.
I'm in 4th,
Oh.
so...
You're gonna have to fix
Oh, I'm in
that.
5th.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no, I keep running into shit. Oh my god.
I just keep getting coins
And there's
for
a-
what?
There's a bitch behind me.
An agitating, grating voice.
There's a bitch in my ear.
No!
Oh, what?
I got lightning bolt. Oh my god. I got hit with the blue shell and then I got lightning bolted. What the?
I got lightning bolted.
Oh, I missed a box. I'm so tiny.
I just hit a cow, so...
Sorry.
That's just not...
Windmill. And Jesus still loves me.
How am I in 6th place?
I'm like headed for the finish.
I'm against a bunch of bots.
Yeah, that's a wrap for me.
Oh my god.
And I'm looking over at Bree and the
Hey,
bullet bill
a bullet just fucking... That's no fair. Why didn't you give me the bullet?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, 6? I hate this game.
But it's stunning.
I break the nut. It is stunning. I need to practice. I need to get better. This is unacceptable.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys all for joining us.
Well, that's a wrap.
On the Ginny and Georgia pod. Next week, we're talking about the new show, Adults. Adults. It's the season of us.
It's literally the season of us.
Guys, it's the season of us, so make sure you like and subscribe. And now we're counting down to 100. Woo!
Woo! 99 soon.
Happy summer.
Happy summer.
And with that, That's wild. Peach.
That's what Peach. Hi there.
Gummy bear.
Gummy bear. Oh, gummy bear.
My gummy bear. All right, bye.
Bye.
On that note.